Readers, this past week and a half, you've been moving into ever more sophisticated terrain with character traits and with taking charge of your own reading life. So, you have done several different kinds of interaction with text. You've stopped and jotted on sticky notes. You have written in your reading folder. And I have enjoyed hearing and seeing the examples that you've shared through Canvas of how you're becoming more powerful readers and thinkers. Some of you said one way you've grown is that you expect characters to be more complicated. Some said you expect to get to know characters more slowly. A few of you talked about seeing different sides of characters, including the pressures that are on them or the reasons they do unlikable things. Others talked about trying to fit more reading in or making your writing about reading more powerful. Going forward, you want to keep doing this work whenever you are reading, and you want to layer new work on top. Reading is like a sport. The better you get, the more moves you can make in the game. So today I want to invite you to do something that powerful readers do to investigate the impact of settings on characters. To do this work, you'll consider not just the physical characteristics of setting, where it takes place and when, but also its mood or atmosphere. In our read aloud today, let's try out this thinking work. Here's a tip. When the setting seems ordinary, you have to think extra hard. Some readers would say that the setting is just middle school, thinking the setting doesn't really matter. But you'll be the kind of reader who asks, what kind of school? Is this the kind of place where kids can be cruel or hurtful? Or is it the kind of place where kids are good to each other? Because when you ask those kinds of questions, you'll develop theories about how the mood or atmosphere of this particular place shapes the characters. Ready? We're going to read a story called Soul Painting Incorporated by Meg Medina. I reach inside the window of Poppy's van and yank on the handle to open the passenger door. It's my turn to ride in front. Rolly sat there last time. You think they'll need a painter soon? Poppy asks as I slide in next to him. I follow his gaze to the second floor of Building 22. Men dressed like astronauts are tossing furniture into tall canisters marked Biohazard. Donna Rosa, one of the old ladies who lived over there, died in her living room last week. Her TV was on, so no one knew anything was wrong for 2 whole days. That means we were all sleeping near a corpse. A shiver runs through me every time I think about Donna Rosa's ghost hovering in the halls, insulted that no one noticed she was dead. If they do, I'm out, I say. For starters, Donna Rosa was mean enough when she was alive. Who in their right mind wants to risk meeting her now that she's a spirit nursing a grudge? I'm not going in there. Why not? She's scared of putrefaction. Rolly climbs into the back of the van and parks himself on one of Poppy's paint buckets. My brother likes to show off his big science words, almost as much as he likes showing off his biceps, especially in front of Poppy. Who wants him to be a doctor? That means human rot. I know what it means, I lie. But that's not the reason. Are you afraid of ghosts? Rolly makes his best zombie face and holds up his hands like claws. Ooh! Have some respect for los muertos, Rolanda, Poppy says, trying not to laugh. He crosses himself and starts to back out of the space. I give Rolly a stony look. He's right, but I know better than to let him know I'm scared. So I turn back to Poppy. I'm too busy, that's all. School starts next week, and I have to finish my summer reading. I root inside the bakery bag for my pan cubano. I take a deep breath of warm bread that's dripping in butter and grilled flat the way Rolly and I like it. I tear off a chunk and sink my teeth in. A full mouth will keep me from lying any more than necessary. Poppy smiles at me and pulls the bill of my painter's cap down over my eyes. I can't argue with making a good start at your new school, so I'll let you off this time. But don't get used to it. You want to be my #1 apprentice, remember? I say, nodding. Poppy and I have a long-term business plan. I'm going to take over his company one day and turn it into an empire. Home Depot will eat my dust. I've already designed my business cards. They've got a sun rising in fancy gold letters. Merci Suarez, CEO, Soul Painting Incorporated. Rolly makes a face and snatches the bag from me. He knows I haven't cracked open a single book on my summer reading list, but at least he doesn't say so. In fact, I think he felt bad for me, because he loaned me his good earbuds and CD player. Audio books to the rescue. He did the calculations while we were checking them out of the library. You'll be done in a mere 34 hours. Rolly starts telling Poppy about the process of human decomposition after death and proper biohazard cleanups, so I tune him out. This is definitely the dark side of having a science geek for a brother. Not that it's ever been easy. Even when he was younger, Rolly liked to dissect salamanders, dead roaches, and other creepy things. He always wanted to play Operation 2, which would have been fun except that he changed the rules. You had to name body parts correctly. No, not the Adam's apple, he'd say, as I tweezed out a piece without making the buzzer sound. It's the laryngeal prominence. Say it or it doesn't count. Geez, you'd think he would have pity on somebody who was 5. But no, Rolly never cut me a break. Anyway, these days Rolly likes crime shows almost as much as he likes science. He says he's going to be a medical examiner. Poking around dead bodies all day? No, thank you. The air conditioner in Poppy's truck is shot, so I lean my head out the window. Even with the windows open, I'm sweating in my long overalls. I've lived in West Palm Beach my whole life, but even I can't stand it here in August. It's 7 a.m., and we're already at 85 degrees, if the frog thermometer at my bedroom window is right. Poppy looks over at me and grabs my arm. Hi! Don't lean on the door. The latch is loose. Your mother will kill me if you fall. I scoot over. They sent our school schedules, Rolly says, licking his greasy fingers. Mine is sweet. I've got microbiology first thing in the morning. Oh, good. A whole year of listening to him talk about germs. I just survived his year in chemistry. For 2 solid semesters, he asked for things by their chemical formula, just to annoy me. I'd like a glass of H2O, please. Pass the sodium chloride for my French fries. The banana bread could use more sucrose. I close my eyes, listening. Blah, blah. Science club, blah, blah. College application. I wonder what it's going to be like for me this year. Rolly and I will both be at Seaward Pines, although I'll be in the lower school with all the other 7th grade amoebas. His word. Rolly is 5 years older than I am, a senior. The last time we were in the same school, I was in kindergarten, and he was one of the bossy safety patrols with a plastic badge. After that, he became a sunshine scholar at fancy Seaward Pines School, where everybody thinks he's a genius. Mommy says I'm going to love Seaward Pines, but I don't know. I'm not much for fancy, and everything about that place is shiny and stiff. Even the red blazers I'll have to wear look hot and silly if you ask me. Plus, no one from our neighborhood goes there, except Rolly. So I'll have to make new friends. Stuff like that doesn't bother Rolly. In fact, he never brought home a friend in all the years he's gone there. I asked him about it once, but he told me to close my oral cavity. I think what Mommy really means is that she's going to love it. Last year was tough on her. My highest grade was a C, as in caramba niña, what are you doing? You're shaming us. Well, it was frustrating for me too. To think all years of perfect attendance and neat penmanship did absolutely nothing to butter up my teachers at report card time. It's what we call a poor return on investment in the business world. Mommy finally said, "Hasta aquí," and called Poppy to discuss my future. So I knew I was dead meat. I fought it as best I could, but they decided that I needed a more structured learning environment, aka Seward Pines. "Why does it matter if I get an A in science or English?" I cried to Mommy. "I'm going to take over Poppy's business anyway." She gaped at me like a fish out of water. "Business? Is that what you're calling a dented van with a few guys who show up when they feel like it? A business?" Mommy, she has no vision. No wonder she and Poppy don't get along. Anyway, with Rolly's help, I managed to broker a deal. I agreed not to run away. I'd go to Seward Pines, but only if I could apprentice with Poppy and get paid. So far, they're living up to the agreement. I'm 12, so for now, I mostly do the trim, and I'm not allowed to go on all the jobs on account of child labor laws and all that bull. I've been on 2 sites so far. Raymond's Auto Parts, not bad since it was air conditioned, and the marina, which left me smelling like bait for days. So I have a surprise today, Poppy says. I study him. This could be bad. Among my parents' past surprises, we've decided to get divorced. "You're taking us to the Science Museum instead of to a job site?" Rolly says hopefully. I roll my eyes. What an attitude. When I'm in charge, he'll be the first one to go. "No, but you're close." Poppy sticks his arm out to make a turn signal and heads over the bridge toward Palm Beach. It's about the job. I sit up and look outside, realizing he hasn't told us where we're working today. "Where's the site?" I ask. The whole sky reflects in Poppy's paint-speckled shades as he looks over and smiles. "Guess." I look around for a clue. The Intracoastal twinkles beneath us as we cross the bridge into Palm Beach. The houses on this side of the canal are large, and they have bougainvillea vines trailing from their balconies. Royal palms line the street that ends at the ocean. Poppy makes one turn after another on the quiet side streets where fancy cars are parked in the driveways and nannies push strollers in the shade. Maybe we'll be painting one of the big mansions. I could run into one of the rich tycoons who live here and run a few business ideas past him. Rolly crowds into the front seat to look at where we are, too. "Where are we going?" "Move back," I say. He's breathing in my ear, and he hasn't brushed his teeth. "No guess yet?" Poppy asks. Then the stone archway of Seward Pines School appears up ahead. We drive past the perfectly manicured lawn, startling a flock of ibises as we go. A team of men in wide-brimmed hats is running weed whackers and mowers. "What are we doing here?" I ask. Poppy maneuvers us around back to the service entrance, near the fields and parks, in a spot reserved for maintenance crews. When he shuts off the engine, the van shudders to silence. "I did a trade for your tuition," he says, turning to us. "We paint the gym and a few classrooms, and it won't cost me un centavo to have Mercy attend this semester." "Qui te pares?" Your old man is always thinking. He taps his temple and grins. Rolly glances at me uneasily, and then shrinks into his seat again. "You should have told us," he mumbles. Something in his voice sounds tight, far away. But Poppy doesn't hear him over the squeak of the van door. "Let's go, Team Suarez," he says. I hop out and start gathering the drop cloths and extenders from the back. I already know where the gym is. We came here for orientation last spring. If I remember, the place is humongous. We could be here for days. Maybe I'll ask for a raise. "Are you going to help or what?" I ask Rolly. "These paint cans are heavy, you know." He doesn't answer. Finally, Poppy looks up. He stares at Rolly for a second before climbing in to help me with the cans. Poppy can carry several cans in each hand. He is the strongest dad I know. Wiping the sweat from his forehead, he points across the grass.
"Follow those signs to the main office," he says. "Tell them we're here." I start down the path, dodging the sprinklers and hopping over the bricks with people's names chiseled in